So first things first. This video is a sequel to my previous one. If you haven't watched it, then go watch. But here's a quick recap for those who forgot something. I'm Golem. I climbed the big tower with 30 floors to reach, well, something? Nirvana? I don't know yet. There's Mel or Melpomene, our good friend who helps us. She's a Greek muse of tragedy. We stopped at floor 11, and the game is called The first Disillusion video did well, so I thought that I have to finish the thing I started, so there we go. The next, 12th floor, was the floor where I have died for the first time in my playthrough from this fucking fiery eye. I hate this entity model already. Too many bad memories with them. In my second attempt I absolutely destroyed the eye and met a skeleton who teach me divine breath ability. Then there was this little man, who was talking in some strange manner and he seemed to know me already. He said that he hates me and that I got him killed. Well, I don't remember anything about this, so I guess he's lying, right? I wandered around the level for a bit. Then Mel appeared and asked me if I was interested in cryptids and said that there can be some of them. Though I, personally, enjoy the idea of cryptids, especially atmospheric animals. They're gorgeous. Then I found this entity who asked me about the reason why people fall. I answered blindness, but it seems I was wrong. Then I stumbled across a TV that showed me an ancient Chinese artwork. I went through the portal and appeared in a Japanese village with sakura trees. That's an interesting transmission, I would say. The village itself was kind of empty. There was a wash and barrel, an antenna probably, I don't know, some houses, sakura trees. Oh, also a Buddha statue that was busy for whatever reason. I spoke with Mel and she said that this town reminds her of the Bright Moon Cottage she used to visit often. Then I went into yet another portal that teleported me to a skeleton party of some sorts. There also was a man looking for his menthol cigarette. He said he'll pay if I find it somewhere in the village, so I quickly returned to the village, grabbed the cig and gave him for a huge pack of 200 dust. Then I went back through all the portals and finished the floor. I'd say that was a long one. The next floor seemed small and empty at the first glance. There was only this little guy who asked me to mock the fly guy. Mel said that we don't have to do this, so I just randomly tried to walk into the wall and got called a cheater by Mel. Then there was this blue girl. We met with her already. She said she didn't like the way things were going and asked me why I brought them all there. Again, something from Golem's past. Another guy told me that there's something bad on another floor. I got scared a bit. There also was a portal with an advice. Be kind to Mel, she's your ally. Well, I was kind this whole time, I think. Went through the gates onto the next floor. I have not felt the next scary floor. I just went left and found an exit, XD. The next floor was full of fighting. I found a TV with a very cool video on it. Also, I have bonded with Melpomene a bit. Her hair used to be much shorter and she said that the plant-like markings on Muse's bodies become more visible when they use their powers. Pretty interesting. Also, I learned bubble skill and bought truck nuts. Oh, and cough syrup cat addict, yeah.
This is a certified hood classic. AV with that drip, ho.
On the next floor I met this wall-like body again. I fought for a long time with him and decided that you cannot physically kill him, so I just escaped for the first time in our playthrough. This little guy who hated me returned, but now he has something to say. He fucking summoned a full-on enemy on my ass, so I had to kill him. Then I found a bottle of liqueur from the TV, a very strong heal item. This man is a star of today's show. I thought that he was saying absolute bullshit, and Mel agreed with me with a very catchy phrase. Melpomene translated his freaky language, and it appears that he's Prince Umaso, and that he had traveled across many stars, and he said to tell some asteroid to meet Umaso. This event felt like a fever dream. Then I scored 2 out of 2 at the riddles from this floaty dude. I just peacefully walked around the floor and no-clipped into the fucking floor. A lot of no-clipping and wall passing today, huh? There was a businessman named Calf. I asked him to teach me some business, so he started to teach me through the fight. I won him and he allowed me to look at some of his exclusive hot stuff. But everything was too expensive. Mel said that Calf looks a bit shady and I fucking agree with it. This little guy starts to piss the fuck off of me. Another green bean said that the golem made everything worse for everyone by leading them onto the wrong path. I'm starting to question what happened before the events of the game and why everyone is hating Golem. Quite an interesting portal there. Right before an exit, Melpomene asked me, "Do I have any guilt?" I answered that I'm trying my best to be a good person. Mel said that she's trying to, but it's kinda hard for her. After all, she's a muse of tragedy, and her job is to add tragic parts into this life. When the little chat with Mel ended, I went through the gates. The next floor was fast, unlike the previous one. There was this little bitch, but now he was friendly. This entity is called Hop. He told me about the effect of the alcohol and drugs on you and that they are the real demons. You shouldn't use either of them, really, trust me. There was a strange movie on TV as always, and that's basically it. And so, what's up with this one? Oh my lord, what the fuck is this? Holy shit! On this floor we had a talk with Mel about the tower's inhabitants and the freaky sugar cube. Then this little green gremlin told me why everyone's so insane. It's because they cannot handle being in the tower for a long time, and their egos and memories become disjointed. The Golem and Mel are immune, however, I guess. Green Dude said that this may be because we're about to be reborn soon. There was this needy entity which wanted to be touched by women. Ew. I beat the shit out of it. A TV with an interesting video, of course, and an advice. Spend some time eating some cake and stare blankly at the blanket of grey clouds that takes the place of sunshine. That was very strange advice, I would say. Through another portal I got into the same classroom where I was in part 1, but now there was a teacher cat, and the deaf still humbled my ass. Ashamed of myself, I left the floor. I instantly learned sacrifice ability on the next floor. Toasted the tree. Then Mel tells me that she's worried that everything will end up disappointing. She says that she's sorry for all the harm she caused even before the events of the game, so that means Golem have known Mel before. I go into the portal and... we find ourselves in a very strange house full of ice. The house contained corrupted basic enemies, I would say. But hear me out. I have a theory. The Morse code when you enter the house says, "You died October 22, 1998. So that means that Golem is probably dead while events of the game are going on. We know that the tower is a way to reach Nirvana, the last journey. So can it mean that we are in an afterlife and currently trying to escape the samsara and reach Nirvana at the very top of the tower? I don't know, think about it. Maybe I'm onto something, maybe I'm just insane. Then I got myself out by walking into yet another portal, and the exit gates appeared right in front of me. Mel warned me that this floor was a test once again. That means we're on floor 20. 10 left to go. This boss, Chernobog, tried to convince me that it's impossible to escape samsara in this tower. Well, I did not listen and just killed him. We arrive at our happy and quiet town once again. I met a guy who told me the same thing. You can't escape samsara through the tower. I also asked him about where all the crows come from, and he told me that some guy breeds them somewhere around or in the tower. Then me and Mel decided to check the town hall. It was a creepy place with a creepy feeling. In the drawer we have found someone's diary. It seemed that this diary belonged to the guy who was breeding crows. A woman named Mara once visited the village. The owner of the diary couldn't persuade Mara to stay in the village and to not go into the tower, so she started her ascension. The owner followed Mara. He reached the very top, but there he found out that the Mara has constructed something like a prison at the very top of the tower, to trap those who try to escape the samsara. They can't be reborn nor reach nirvana in this position. He said that going into the tower is a huge mistake right now. When we leave the town hall, Mel says that her reason for investigation is the fact that less and less souls are being reborn or are reaching nirvana. The tower is an afterlife for sure. We come back into the tower, now we have a somewhat clear understanding of what is happening. We need to free souls from the prison at floor 30 and stop Mara, I guess. The last push, I'd say. There's 9 floors left until we reach the very top of the tower. This floor reminded me of an apartment complex or something like that. I met Miggy D, who called me Scrimeth. People on higher floors are insane for sure. Then I toasted the tree, well, as always, watched the video on TV, and made my way to the gates. The intersections between floors now show a story of some sorts. Disjointed memories or something like that, I guess. At the very start of the next floor, I met this guy who was chasing me on one of the floors earlier. Oh my lord, what the fuck? He was talking in Japanese. I tried to translate it, but there was only nonsense and the word chill at the very end. Pork facts? Bro, what? This shit is not normal. I met this enemy named Dibsy, and he was literally unkillable. He just revived every time I killed him. Then those 2 guys granted me a triple attack ability, and I thought that this could kill Dipsy. So I went and tried it, and it fucking worked. Mel asked me about how do I feel, because Mel wasn't feeling her best. I guess the tower started to get on her condition, really. We went onto the next floor. The next floor is, like, really short. Just like Golem, thanks for reminding me, Mel, you're such a bitch. I had a lot of fights with those blue guys named Ears. Right before an exit, Mel stopped me and said that maybe even Muse are affected by the tower's affliction, and that she wants to see everything till the very end so she won't leave. We exited the floor. The next floor looked really trippy. But I quickly went through the portal and got into a beehive or something like that. The Melpomene looked quite off the mood here. The queen bee asked me to collect pollen from all the flowers, but I accidentally killed one of the flowers and couldn't get my reward. Real sad stuff, I am sorry, little flower. I left the beehive, bought some new weapons for myself. So projecting your own fears, insecurities, and internal desire to dominate and control. It is us for the threat, our wars, our bombs, and our tribalism. We destroy more than we build. At last, it is us who hold ourselves back. On the next floor, there was a really meditative portal. Then I spoke with Mel about getting closer to the top. Now this feels like a finale, for real. Melpomene said about her worries, about loneliness. All of us have the power to give or take away this loneliness. Then I fought two Cians, something like Ryan from the first part, but Cian and twice as much. There's also basic Ryan, yeah. I beat all the shit out of those guys. Watched my well-deserved video on TV and left the floor. The next floor was peaceful. There were those guys talking about the concepts of what awaits us all after death, about the concept of quantum immortality, where each time you should have died, the universe creates an alternate one, where your consciousness continues to live. Then I told this guy that you should live your life bright and die young, burn out basically. A last portal with an advice appeared, but there was no advice. They asked me to leave a review on their service. I said that these advices were really helpful. They even gave me 10 potions, and I continued my ascension. Oh, and also a TV. The next floor was something like a labyrinth, I suppose. I finished it pretty quickly and continued. The next floor was just a bunch of kinda difficult fights. I finished them all, bought some stuff from the shopkeeper and continued. On the penultimate floor, there was one enemy who did mental mockery on everyone. Also, Melpomene has run out of powers, so she decided to stay on floor 29 until I finished the job. I went to the final floor. Here she is, right inside this portal. Mara was waiting for me, so I stepped into the portal. The Bodhi tree lies before you, surrounded by a small prison. Thee with the uncontrollable personality, thinking, memory, and perception. Do you not realize you can never reach nirvana? Why did you come? To bother me. You are no different from any other shepherd. I offer you a chance. You will leave me. I will cure you. Just as devas have always done when crafting a new shepherd. You, my friend, were given an unfair chance by the natural love of dependent origination, and nothing you do here will matter, as your illness causes you to live outside of karma. Despite being cured, you can never reach nirvana. It would be futile to even try. Live here, outside of samsara. With the power of a deva, all your desires will be at your fingertips. I will lift you up into the perfect body. A fight with Mara starts. As we can see, Mara has become an angelic being of some sorts, with a huge desire and a plan to create her own world, outside of karmic cycle. I decided to not obey her and return everything to the natural order, so we have to defeat Mara.